Hi everyone, good morning. I hope you're all doing wonderfully, even if it's not morning. And I realized I just started the video, which made it shaky, and then I accidentally kicked my desk trying to sit down. So it's even more shaky. So this is going to be just kind of a little recap / journal update about what I've been doing in January. I can't believe it's the end of January already. It's so wild to me. But I'm so excited to share it with you. Sorry, I don't know why. I'm feeling really excited, and so I guess it's coming out in my aggressively hitting the desk. And I totally don't mean to do that. But I showed earlier, but I'm armed with my tea. If anyone is curious, this is, I think, like a French vanilla chai. It's got cardamom in it, and I think it's wonderful. So normally I put a little bit of milk in it, but I didn't today. There isn't really any thought process to it, I just didn't. So this mug I actually painted probably in middle school, and there's an octopus on it. I have another mug that I might prefer to this one, but it was not clean, and I didn't feel like washing it. So this is what we're getting for today. Anyways, I wanted to kind of start with a little crafting, a little journaling for my January recap, I guess. I printed out my Receiptify. I'm not really sure how you pronounce it because it's not technically a real word, but I'm a big music nerd in terms of the music that I listen to, and I love music stats, and so this is a really cool website that arranges your top tracks of the last month in a receipt format. My printer's getting a little bit funky, honestly. I don't really know what's up with that, and so it's supposed to look crumpled, but instead it just looks really dirty and like the ink smeared because you can't really see all of the little crumples that have been kind of created, I guess. I will put the full image here, but I cut off the top and I cut off the bottom to get it to fit. There was a lot of measuring of computer screens and measuring of journal in order to get it to fit, but this was the first try actually, and I totally measured it okay, which is nice. I might have cut this crooked, but I don't really care, honestly. So I'm going to put this in my journal, maybe write a few things by it. I'm not sure if it's going to go here or here. I think I prefer it here or in the middle, but anyways, I'm going to do that. So here's where we're gonna start. Here is my Techo original. I love it so much. I'm so obsessed with it. I switched from not a one book system, but I was essentially using one book every day to two, kind of, and I'll get to my commonplace in a second, but this is really, really working for me, and I will talk about it when I get to the daily pages, but I've been using it every day. I love it so much, and I am obsessed with it. So, differently from last year, decided to put some stickers on the cover. I left mine totally blank. For context, sorry, my thoughts are really scattered today. For context, last year I used a cousin. I put this sticker on when I put the stickers on here. So I just thought this really fit the vibes of this year, so I thought I would put it on there, but I didn't put anything on there. It's quite dirty. I'm going to attempt to remedy that this year, but anyways, I didn't put any stickers on because I've been weird in the past about using stickers, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, but I just couldn't. I wanted to save them all, and that actually proved to be kind of an issue. I started wanting to put stickers on, and I found this cute little sticker sheet back in our senior year of high school, so it's been 3 years since then, and all of the stickers are like not sticky anymore, they're lifting, so I have to glue them down, which is okay. I just have kind of learned my sticker lesson. Anyways, I have this little diamond chain, I think is what it's called. I've had to glue it down a few times, and so you can see a little bit of the glue where it's lifted, but I'm okay with that. I don't really mind. In case anyone is curious, this is the one I used, so I put it in the package backwards, but they're Stampendous. Again, I think these are pretty old. I think my grandma was crafting and she wanted to get rid of some. And did I put this on backwards? Sorry, I'm just realizing this now. I glued it back down upside down, which has to be funny a little bit. It's okay, I don't really care because it's still pretty on this side. I just realized, because I was like, where did the gold go? It didn't rub off. I haven't had it for that long. That's pretty funny. Okay, anyways, and then I use these. These came from this Sumiko Garashi pack, which I think came from Daiso. I have a bunch of other ones that are very similar. So these really embody the vibes that I'm trying to give off this year with this guy coming out of the box. I like that he's upside down. I think it adds a little quirkiness. I used to know all of their names, and then we all gave them separate names. So my cousins and I were obsessed with Sumiko Garashi when we were younger, and we had all of the little toys too. They're like the same size as Tsum Tsums. To try and find them. We were really deep into the culture, but I really like this cat that's on top of the duck. Penguin? It's a penguin. It's a green penguin. It definitely is a penguin. They're just so cute. So that's that. And then I actually put this sticker on the back. My family and I went to the San Diego Zoo. Uh-oh, it's already getting dirty. We went to the San Diego Zoo about halfway through this month, and I, of course, had to pick up some stickers. This is like a nice vinyl sticker, and so I wanted to put it on the back because I didn't want to take up all the space, because I'm hoping to put some more of these little guys on here. More little stickers on the front and bigger stickers on the back, if it pans out how I want. So that's how that's looking. Hopefully I won't go in depth as much every time that I flip through my journal, but these are my new additions. So I wanted to share them with you. And then let's start with, I don't have anything actually in the yearly overview so far. I'm pretty sure this is not called the yearly overview. I made the same mistake in the last video that I filmed, but oh well, it's okay. So the only thing I wrote in December was Christmas, and that's so great. I totally agree. Okay, and here's the calendar. I'm hopefully planning to add some more stickers, but for now, this is what the situation is like. I'm just covering this for personal. I don't want to necessarily dox myself or anything that I'm doing on certain days. So that's that. But these are just regular gold stickers. These are from a zoo pack. These are really old. A lot of the stickers that I have, again, because I've had sticker fear, are really old and I've kept for a really long time, so I don't know where all of them are, but I bet you can find something similar online. This elephant is so cute. We went to the zoo. So that was that. And these little cat page flags, I have a whole pack of them, and I've been using them to mark my calendar. I don't honestly use this calendar very much to plan, as much as kind of a memory keeper and a place to remember kind of what I did throughout the month. So again, I didn't really plan anything. I think it's too small of a space to realistically plan things that aren't really important, like appointments and events and stuff. But looking back at this, I've been a lot more active already this year than I have in previous years, and I think mentally it's really good to see myself on that track. So that's just a little update on that front. I've also, and I did this last year, but I didn't really follow through with it, or follow through, I guess, for the whole year, but I made a list of things that I loved. I'm someone who tends to hyperfixate. I get really obsessed with certain things, and I love the concept of being able to remember all of these things and when I loved them, I guess. Or even just to flip back and remember things that I really enjoy can help bring my spirits up. So this is the list of things that I really love. So Law & Order, SVU, and Organized Crime, I've been on kind of a binge for a while. Truly enjoy watching them. I have like an Olivia Benson hyperfixation, so that could be that. Also, the Law & Order Organized Crime intro. Organized Crime is like a spin-off of SVU, or I guess a spin-off of Law & Order in general. Anyways, long story short, the intro has all these fantastic instrumentals behind it, and I think it's absolutely wonderful. So I will watch the intro to the show every single time that it plays, just so that I can listen to the fantastic music. And it's the way it's edited is so beautiful. I love it. There are only 2 shows that I will do that with, actually. The Organized Crime intro, and then also Gossip Girl. Gossip Girl is really short, and it's so iconic. It's the You Love Me. XOXO Gossip Girl. It's gonna be really embarrassing if I mess it up. Maybe I'll just overlay it with the actual intro. But anyways, also The Library. I will definitely be talking about this in future pages and also future reading videos, but I've been a big library girl this month. My docs. Every year I want to wear my docs more, and I think at some point I just need to get these little silicone sock situations and deal with it, because it's not really breaking them in situation, it's that my feet are not meant for my little Mary Janes. Just the way they're shaped. Like, I'm not meant to walk in shoes that are like that. But I love them so much, and so every year I try to wear them and I give myself intense blisters. I also said commonplace. I, especially through the middle of this month, was really feeling at peace in my books, and I'll talk about that in a second, but I just put this on here to remember it. My Patagonia jacket. So for Christmas, my grandparents got me a Patagonia jacket, and it's beautiful and wonderful, and I've been wearing it to all my brother's soccer games where it's so cold, and I've been enjoying it so much. And then lastly, I said my journal, which is true. I do love my journal, and that's how that's been going. So hopefully I'll come in and put some more stickers and maybe a few more decorations, but for now, that's how that has been looking. All right, and then we get to my turning the page to a new year page, and as you can see, I've put nothing on it. I'm feeling the need to justify myself, and I really don't have to, but I am, number one, losing my voice, and I'm like 10 minutes into talking here, but number two, wanted to do some sort of vision board, although I did do kind of an electronic vision board on Canva, and so I didn't really feel the need to do it here, but maybe write down some goals, which I also did on Notion, so I didn't really need to write them here. And then I was thinking about how I wanted to write a letter to myself, like a letter to myself at the end of the year, and just see how much I've grown. And I haven't done that either. So maybe I'll do that in a few days. Lunar New Year just happened, so maybe that's an excuse to be able to, say it's the start of the year again. I mean, I could truly do it whenever I want, but I just haven't yet. So that's how that's been going. But anyways, we finally get into January. I did some pen testing. I was trying to find a highlighter that matched the color of these days, or at least the month colors the best. I thought that would be really fun to have a matching highlighter. And this one matches really well. If anyone is curious, it's the marigold color. I hope that I have colors. I tried to loosely figure it out last night, but I don't know if I have colors that match every single month. I might have to reuse one or two, but I really like this, and I think it's cute. So I printed out my Receiptify, which you Receiptify? I always say out loud Receiptify, but that's not how you pronounce the word receipt. I tried to do this little label where I wrote it on paper and I cut it out. I wanted it to be cute and bubbly, and then I put it down and you couldn't see the outside, so I went around it with the highlighter. You watched me do it, but I don't think it looks the greatest, but that's okay. I don't mind. I don't hate it either. And then I actually went through and I wrote down a little bit of what I thought about my favorite songs and stuff. Paper Bag by Fiona Apple is here, and this song has been out for many years, my entire lifetime. And so that's really exciting. And it's still up here. But Ankles by Lucy Dacus is definitely a highlight. And I highlighted these two because Lucy Dacus, who's one of my favorite artists, I love her so much. I think she's so smart and writes fantastic music. But she and Katie Gavin, who's another artist who's on this list, are going on tour together in May, and I have tickets to both nights in LA, which is so exciting. And I'm so excited and so insanely grateful that I get to see them. And yeah, so I put that on here as a little remembrance. But anyways, let's get into these daily pages, which I'm really excited about. Here I've started doing this originally, and I did this last year, where I write like a daily situation here. I've been writing a word of the day, which I'll get to when I get to commonplace, but I've been trying to learn a new word every day as kind of an expansion of my vocabulary. It's been going great, actually. I feel so wonderful about it, so I'm definitely going to keep doing that. I've been doing a song of the day. Again, I'm trying to do the thing that I tried to do last year and failed, which was to have a song for every day of the year in one big playlist and have it be a good way to remember my days. And I totally failed. I forgot to do it maybe 2 or 3 months in, but I'm trying to do it again. So here it is. I've been writing it down just in case I forget to add it to the playlist, and then I have something to go back on and look back on, hopefully. And I've also been tracking what I'm reading and watching. This again I've been doing for a while, just another place to kind of see what I was consuming that day. For most of the days this month, it's been SVU and organized crime, but I'm a predictable girl. And then I've also tried to do this new thing, which is a new edition, I believe, which is just kind of a short grateful for situation. I kind of have trouble with the journaling part of gratitude. I'd like to say that I'm a very grateful person, but I think writing down that I'm grateful for things sometimes feels a little saccharine. And so writing down something that I'm grateful for, just a short thing, and then kind of reflecting on it internally and not necessarily writing it on paper, has been really comforting to me. I think it's really managed to encourage my gratitude without feeling kind of cringy to me. Not that it's cringy to write down things that you're grateful for. You should absolutely do that if that works for you. But I think the way I communicate, it makes more sense to just encourage, like prompt myself to be grateful, and then think about it later. I have been writing these headings with the tombow. I always say this wrong. I think it's fudenosuke. Fudenosuke. Oh my gosh, I do not speak Japanese and it's very clear. Apologize, but I originally started using the hard tip because the soft tip is so big, but I've been challenging myself to use the soft tip. I use the soft tip here. This is the hard tip. And just honestly because I want to challenge myself to write carefully, I guess, and like grow my calligraphy skills. My calligraphy skills are not great. They're not fantastic. You will be able to tell as I flip through this month. But anyways, so that's that. I've been journaling every day here. Sometimes I add a few doodles. I wore my new sweater this day, and I am not an artist by any means, but I love doing this. I love doing my little doodles. I think sometimes they're fun. So if you don't think they're great, I apologize, but I think they're fun and encourages creativity for me, even though I'm really not an artist, and that's not my necessarily preferred form of expression, but that's okay. I think it's fun. So that's what I've been doing. I have been kind of writing a lot, I guess, for the size. I am someone whose journals tend to be very text heavy, and I just like it that way. I also don't have a ton of fancy stationery. Like originally when I started writing in my cousin, it was just me and a pen and a page, and like maybe a few different colored pens, but I was afraid to use stickers, and I've been using stickers a little bit more, but I try to keep my spreads pretty minimal. That's just kind of the way I prefer it, and then I'm using less stationery, so it's definitely possible. Was struggling with when I was using the cousin because the space was so large and I felt the need to fill up the whole page like this, just because that's how I kind of like to have it. I want to feel complete. I wanted the page to be filled personally. And I know you don't have to do that. Like, please do not feel pressured to do this if you're watching this and you don't feel that way. But this is what works best for me because I have a small page to fill up and I haven't been feeling any pressure about what I should do here. And I want to come back to my journal every day because I don't have such a massive space to fill up. I just feel so good because if you look back at these pages, hold on, I'll flip to like a full text page, but I was feeling the need to fill up this entire page, and oh my gosh, if I look at it now, it looks so wild. I do like doing stuff like this sometimes, but in all honesty, no one with a job or work to do or school really can make time to do stuff like this every single day. Like, it's just not possible. Like, looking back on this, I'm like, this is wild. Like, this is a little bit crazy, and I don't have time to do it. If you do, that's wonderful. I'm so happy for you, but it just didn't work for me personally. This smaller page, although kind of less pretty, that's okay, has been so nice for me to keep up with, and I feel so at peace here, and I think that's so great. I feel so happy about that. So I'm definitely not without my little scribbles. This is when my best friend came over and we watercolored bookmarks just for fun. These oranges are actually prettier. I did this myself. I'm so proud of this. It's not the most beautiful thing ever, but I think it's cute. I also did some strawberries that are not as good, but I can't find them in this. Oh, here they are, in this big drawer. Here's some strawberries. The strawberries are not as good as the oranges, but I watercolored some oranges to kind of extend that feeling into the page. This is a sticker from when I opened a new washi tape. And then these are all thoughts. You can tell when I wrote, like this is with the small tip and this is with the big tip. Sometimes I wrote it down. Anyway, some of them are not. That's great. That's okay. Here's my new Patagonia jacket. A really bad doodle of my new Patagonia jacket, but I'm enjoying it. Here are more thoughts. This is Ethel Kane's new project came out. I did this a lot because I was checking out books from the library, and so I wanted to write down all the books that I wanted to read, kind of in order, and what I planned to check out. My best friend made me a strawberry matcha, and this picture does not do it justice because it's not in color, but here it is. You can see it. It's beautiful, and I love it. This is also a funny little sticker of a guy in a bag. I don't know why I said it like that. And then, oh, this is kind of something I've been trying to do. I have a Twitter. I have a fangirl Twitter. I've used it for, this is probably the 5th, technically, year that I've had it. And I also have a private Twitter with, like, my close friends. And I like to tweet my thoughts, and I'm trying to do it less and put them here because there are some things that are in my head that no one needs to see. This is me pausing to say that I realize the irony of that, because if I write it in my journal, people will also probably see it, but it's different than me tweeting it and like forcing my thoughts onto other people because they'll see it when they're scrolling, whereas to actively read my journal, you have to try. So, I don't know, that was my thought. But instead, I just wrote a tweet. And I wrote it down here and kind of expanded on it in terms of my thoughts, which I thought was kind of fun. But in case anyone is curious, the tweet says, "My hobbies include writing completely incomprehensible Goodreads reviews." True. And editing clips of myself journaling for probably the same 10 people. You are the same 10 people. So thank you for being here. This was a day that I wanted to journal a little bit more personally, and so I covered it up and wrote more stuff on the other side. So that's that. But I do like that I feel comfortable enough to write here, write things that I would feel the need to censor here again, because I didn't feel that way for a few months and was kind of afraid about the whole censoring situation. So this is my mom's birthday, and here's her birthday cake from Costco. Again, more words. I brought back this thing that I was doing more last year where I would take I've actually just been using a thicker pen, but this is a gel Pilot G2, and I was using it to write my headings here. So I like that because it gives me a quick overview if I'm flipping through, whereas at the beginning of this month, I couldn't really tell what I was writing about, which is okay, but I like this. This is a quote from Stephen Colbert. I don't think it's an exact quote, but the gist is there, and he made this joke that I thought was the funniest thing ever, and he said tennis or giant pickleball, which is so ridiculously funny. It's probably not funny to everyone, but I, in the moment, thought it was the most hilarious thing I've ever heard, and every time I hear it, I still laugh at it, and it's so funny. So, that's that. I hope it makes you giggle a little bit, or at least you giggle at how stupid my humor is. Because tennis really is just giant pickleball, but pickleball was not the first. So, you know, like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? Definitely not pickleball. Anyways. Oh, here I tested these mildliners I got in a new pack as a gift, and they're so beautiful. And I wanted to do them here. I didn't feel like writing, so I said maybe I'll just test some pens. So I did. Which is, again, I feel comfortable enough that I can fill up the space with creative situations. And then if I don't feel like writing, it encourages me to be creative because I want to fill up the space. Goodbye TikTok. I have lots of thoughts about goodbye TikTok. And then I said the real lost CapCut my baby, which is true. I love CapCut. But I'm attempting to teach myself different editing because I have moral thoughts about that whole situation. But, you know, we're working on it. So we went to dinner. My family went to San Diego, I mentioned earlier, and we got sushi, and this is from the sushi. I've been trying not to put too much ephemera in here because I don't want it to be super chunky, hopefully. But I managed to keep my cousin not as chunky, but we'll have to see. This is when we went to the zoo. Yay! This is a park ticket. There's a pretty thing on the other side, but I stuck it down. Here's a bear sticker. I love this page, actually. It's so beautiful. I love looking at it. And then I put this washi tape here, actually, because I tried to make a heading, and the heading was ugly. So I covered it up. And there's another heading here. This washi tape is definitely not here because I messed up the daily title. Why do you ask? Well, I just kind of explained it to you. I didn't need to. Here is when I went to go see a show. Here's me testing the Zebra Mildliner brush pens, which I actually really enjoyed. Definitely will hopefully use them more in the future. Again, oh, here I was testing the Zebra Kinachi glitter highlighters, and I did them under like a big lamp at night because I tend to journal at night, and they looked like they were kind of, you see, it's coming up funky. They were really, really dry, and I think part of it is the glitter, but hopefully I will give them another chance. And then I didn't feel like writing again, so I watercolored a laundry basket. I think this is really cute, in my personal opinion. I don't like this at all, but it was an attempt. So, again, more thoughts. This is recently, so that's that. I finally posted on YouTube again. Yay! Here is, I've been using this, again, highlighter to separate some spaces when I feel they need separation. And then there was a space here, so I tried to highlight it across. You know, like kids used to do their notes many years ago. And I don't like this at all, but that's okay. I like the sticker. This is when the One Chicago crossover aired. That's exciting. This washi tape is not here because I messed up. This washi tape is just here because I thought it was relevant. So that's that. And then today is the 31st. So that is how that's been going. But I do have this little page flag. These are Sumiko Gurashi as well, which is kind of cute. It matches. They are not very good quality, and that they're just paper, and they don't stick that well, but for my purposes, it totally works. So that's that. I'm so happy about how this has been going. I feel really supported here. Sorry, I've been recording for so long, I'm afraid I'm gonna run out of storage, which is definitely probably gonna happen, but that's okay. And then I've been using the notes pages a little bit. So, I added things to learn. These are kind of life goals, things I want to learn. I'd like to learn ASL one day. I've been working on learning Greek and Latin roots. So that's on here. I want to read philosophy stuff. I want to explore more about Thomas Jefferson. When I was in high school, I had this hyperfixation about Benjamin Franklin, and I think American history is really interesting. So that's on my list of things that I want to know about. And then also I want to read more political science stuff or take a class one day. So that's that. This is a list of things that will make me feel better. This is kind of my take on the dopamine menu situation, but I have yet to add more to it. So I said things that will get me out of a rut and make me feel real again. And then I said literally jumping into the ocean cold shock, which does in fact work, but maybe not the best. And then the only other pages I've been using here are this page, the My 100, which I've been using to write all the books that I've read. And I am actually going to add, because I finished it last night, The Handmaid's Tale. Woo! So I'm up to 8 books so far for January, which is not too bad. And then I also have been using this to track when I'm reading, and I haven't filled in up to where we are, but hopefully I will get there. I have it kind of marked in my journal and on other reading apps, so I'll definitely get back to that. But I try to do a few days at once at least, because I do it with a gel pen because it's satisfying to me, but then it needs to be blotted. So I like to wait until I have extra time to do that. But that's how that's been going. Yay, I'm enjoying it so much. I feel so much planner peace, journaling peace. And I think I'm probably one of the few people who has experienced that, this year with the hobonichi. I feel like a lot of what I've seen in terms of online discourse is that people are struggling with this in terms of sizing, in terms of the whole paper debacle. For me personally, I write with a ballpoint pen. I use the jetstream, and so I haven't really had too much trouble with it. I do find that sometimes my tombow brush pens can really be seen, but I haven't had really any bleeding so far. Now, I tend to write with a light hand when I'm writing with a gel pen, but I've had no problem with my smaller gel pens. I've had no problems really with the brush pens. I'm thinking maybe I'll test, because I have some thicker tombows. I tested these originally in November, and maybe I should do a pen test and test them alongside when I originally tested them in my cousin to see if they bleed, but I don't really feel too bad about that whole situation. So it's working for me. For all the people it's not working for, I'm sincerely sorry, but I hope that you can find your own peace with it and that you can find a system that works for you, because I finally have, and I feel so at peace and full of joy about it. And I feel like I have a safe place to return to and put my thoughts. So here is my commonplace book. I have really been enjoying it. It's just like regular paper, blank paper, and it's working great for me. I'm feeling so wonderful about it. This is me trying to calculate how many pages it would take for me to write, for me to, how many days it would take for me to fill it up. These are thoughts about journals. I can probably go into this more in depth and talk about how I use all of my books and apps and stuff to plan my life, but that's a short list, I guess. This is commonplace key. I use highlighters instead of those little stationary dots that everyone uses because I have lots of highlighters and I don't have any stationary dots. So that's how one figures it out. You could also use like Crayola markers. I have some of those. Maybe I should do that instead of using my mildliners because I kind of treasure my mildliners, but that's okay. This is how it's been looking. I can go more in depth about this, but I'm losing my voice and I know this video is so long already, so I'm kind of hesitating, but this is this. I've been trying to learn a new word every day and then talk a little bit about the roots and then also commonplace in quotes. Ethel Kane's new project came out. I don't necessarily want to go too far into depth because it's, by the name, a little bit not the vibe that I want to give on this channel, but I did break it down and it was wonderful. And I truly enjoyed going through all of this. So I haven't been writing in this every day. Oh, here's all the lyrics to Angles by Lacey Dacus, which was the song that came out that was my top song of the year. This was the day it came out, so I wanted to write down all the lyrics. But I will say, this works great for me because if I have any other thoughts or things I want to commonplace, I can write as much or as little in here as I want to, and there are definitely days that I skip. I have been just kind of writing books and words and everything that I want to save, and it's been really nice because if I want to write a lot I can, and if I don't then I won't at all, and I will just fill this out, and I feel so at peace about that. It sounds like a little bit like I'm being sarcastic, but I'm totally not. I also need to concede that I realized that every single one of these pages says 2024. I realized it probably 25 days into the month, so I will remedy that, but I don't know if I'm gonna go through and change all of these here. I still have yet to decide. This one says 2025, finally, when I realized. So that's how that's been going. I still have a bunch that I need to commonplace because I read a lot recently. Hopefully I can go more in depth about this, but I will talk about it later when I have more voice, and maybe next month. So, or if you're curious, comment down below and I will. This is my little system for now. I know I had talked about my reading journal as well, but I haven't really updated that. No one is surprised, and maybe I will update it now that I've completed a month and I will feel more updated. For now, this is what my little journal situation is looking like, and I am so glad that I got to share it with you. Hopefully it brings you peace or leads you to peace in terms of your books as well. And I am so happy that you're here, so thank you for watching it with me. I will be sharing pretty often what's going on in my journal just because I love it so much. Lots of exciting things to come. She's so fluffy. Look at her. She's beautiful. Thank you for being here. I love you all so much for being here. Thank you for being my friend and sitting with me. I hope you have a great rest of your day or evening or sleep if you're going to bed. And I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.